If Trump is arrested, how do you think his supporters will react? People don't realize how anticlimactic it will be. Trump and others and making a big show saying the FBI is going to bust down his door at Mar-a-Lago, drag him away in handcuffs. That won't happen. The DA will contact his lawyers to let them know they have issued an arrest warrant and they will schedule a date for Trump to turn himself in. He goes to the police on that. He's fingerprinted, mugshot taken and processed. He'll then be arraigned and released on his own recognizance. All this will be worked out beforehand by his lawyers and the DA. He might fight extradition in Florida and possibly win with the right judge. But then he will be arrested whenever he goes back to NYC, which he has to at some time. Even once he's arraigned, it will take years for the case to go anywhere. Case in point, Ken Paxton has been awaiting trial for years. This is just home making noise for his constituents. His mugshot will be the dankest meme of all time. I expect to hear several mentions of Hunter Biden's laptop. Probably surprised, considering the number of times people claimed he'd be arrested and he wasn't. I'd be surprised too. I expect them to let the judicial process play out and hold off on any highly emotional response until the case has concluded and prosecutors have had an opportunity to explain their side of the story. After all, Trump supporters are famous for being calm, well-informed, and level-headed. Not sure, but I feel like we'll finally get a true understanding of what the battery life on a rascal scooter is. This was his plan all along. It's part of 100-dimensional chess. It's also that the other guy can get really arrested. There will be bloodshed in the streets. The heavens will open and fire will rain from the sky. Entire civilizations will be destroyed. The world will be plunged into darkness. People will resort to cannibalism. Demons will emerge from the depths of hell and consume our children. Brendan Fraser will get his Oscar revoked. It will be chaos and madness. They will blame everyone except the guilty party. They'll whine on social media and wait for Fox to build them a counter-narrative they can run with. They'll blame wokeness and the usual targets. Then they'll claim exoneration when he's released on his own recognizance in a few days. The only interesting question is what DeSantis will do. If he muddies Trump's extradition from Florida, he could get in trouble with the feds. If he lays the manhunt of DA take him, then he risks the wrath off MAGA. It's baffling that he still has supporters TBH. How many people cared about George W. Bush after he left office? I miss the days when the president left office and we all forgot about them. His simps are still hanging on, it's sad. Loudly and ineffectively. What is the best comeback that works against all insults? Well, I guess what everyone says about you is true. My dad told me to say this, and the typical bully type will generally go crazy thinking everyone talks about them behind their back. That sounds like something you would say. Aussie here, you guys are overthinking this. Let me help. UCK off ya unt. Bold words for a man in shot distance. Pull my earbuds out with a confused expression and ask, what? Earnestly ask them if they are okay. I don't get why that's funny. Can you explain it, Omi? As soon as they start talking. I was just kidding, I don't actually care what you think. I found out just asking, why? And putting them in a position to explain their insult, which didn't have much thought behind it, works well. Anytime my mom would get called names or insulted, she'd shrug and just say, everybody's gotta be something. And basically takes all the wind out of their sails. They want to get a rise out of you. Responding like this doesn't give them the satisfaction. Big fan of the pause for a beat, deadpan, and then some variation, combo of, you done? Feel better now? Got that out of your system. Just that pause and little bit of patronizing tone while dismissing the childlike behavior usually does more to the ego than a counter-insult. Stop bullying me, you're gonna make me Well, that's just, like, your opinion, man. I hope you know I'm just going to masturbate to this later. Once I saw a post where a bride was jealous of a guest, because she was too beautiful and stole her day, even if she was perfectly elegant, and she was insulting her. The bride told her, so next time, can I come to your wedding in a wedding gown? The guest replied, if you think it'll help. And I found that epic. Yeah? Well, the jerk store called, and they are running out of you. You want my comeback? You'd have to wipe it off your mom's teeth, Jimmy Carr. Your mother should have eaten you while your bones were still soft-headed. WTF, this isn't even funny. Just laugh out loud. If someone's trying to make you mad, acting like nothing they've said matters to you in the least, and their best attempts at making you feel bad or laughable will really take the wind out of their sails. I've done it. It's immensely satisfying. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. What sucks when you get married? Having to deal with in-laws who don't play nice with others. Having to decide what to eat every night for the rest of your life while trying to accommodate the other. Your spouse's family problems become yours. Not being on the same level of dishwasher organization. Restaurant leftovers not still being in the fridge where you left them. If you're young, having all the extended family bug you about when you're going to have kids. I've been married 29 years and I absolutely adore me wife, but sometimes the compromises aren't great. We do it out of love and devotion, but once in a while it sucks. Anything from going to family gatherings, to what to watch on TV, to home decorating. We each have our own hobbies and interests, so compromise is essential to a good marriage. Learning to vocalize your intentions. I'm thinking about not doing the dishes right now, maybe later, so don't get mad at me, instead of waiting until later to do the dishes, but running into a bunch of attitude about the pile dishes and then having to yell, but I was gonna. Nah, you need to vocalize your intentions, playa. Edit. And so shines a good deed in a weary world. Thank you for the award, fellow 9Y Redditor, smiley face. Number 2, thanks again for the love, kind Redditor. My family was annoying as UCK during the whole process. Parents were constantly throwing out stupid hit that was apparently tradition and we were crazy for not doing. Example. My mother was absolutely shocked to discover we weren't getting an engraved cake knife with our names and anniversary on it. Edit. If you're going to make a joke about oop knives, about 40 people have already done it. Love my wife dearly. But she got into a habit of inviting friends and family to stay over with us for a weekend, and not telling me until the invitation was already made. It took some time before I could convince her not to do that. Figuring out the balance between together time and alone time that works for both of you. Figuring out that it's okay to say, do you just want a vent, or do you want me to provide a solution, when your spouse goes off? Why does that suck? Those realizations don't happen super early in marriage, so you realize all the lost time and go, amen. It sucks when your partner and sometimes you get too comfortable and complacent. You start slacking on the little things that matter to each other. No one likes to have to remind their partner to do things they used to do automatically. Honestly, not much. Marry the right person and it should be the same as before. Marriage is nice. Someone always in your corner and vice versa. Closing parenthesis. The tax benefits aren't as great as you hoped. The constant refrain of, when are you going to get married, from relatives turns into a constant refrain of, when are you going to have kids, and #X200B. My reply to both was that every time someone asked, I added 2 months to when we're planning it. Cancer. Cancer sucks when you're married. Sucks when you're not too, but amen does it suck when you're married. Never having the bed to yourself. Changing your name. It's such a nightmare. Usually not your wife. Having to miss holidays with your own family. What video game have you played the most? The Civilization series for sure. Probably Skyrim. Minecraft. Age of Empires 2. On and off for 20 years. World of Warcraft, by far. OS RuneScape probably overall. Although there's a lot of hours in Halo and Destiny. The Sims because I'm garbage. Battlefield 1. For a year or so I was number 1 on the global leaderboard for cavalry lance usage because I was obsessed. Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. Either Stardew Valley or Skyrim. I've put 1,000 to 2,000 hours into both games. What is your first impression when you hear someone saying, I go to therapy? Good for them. Bro, that person trusts me enough to open up about it. I feel honored. So much better that hearing, I have all of this pain buried deep inside and I refuse to speak to a therapist. Me too. I go to therapy too. I like PPL who take care of themselves, better than the toxic people who go around hurting others. Edit. An award heart. Thank you so much, kind internet stranger. I'm just trying to do my best as a human, and I appreciate other humans too as we embrace our imperfections. This person is trying to better themselves and or on aspect of their life. Good job. Mild jealousy. Okay, since AskReddit doesn't allow adding body text, let's see if this comment floats up. I'm not a new therapy goer seeking validation, even if my question does sound like that on the hindsight. I'm a former therapy goer, former because there wasn't issues that needed frequent work to do anymore, after a few years of weekly therapy. It just hit me moments ago that therapy was super normalized to me, so it kinda made me think like, hey Reddit, how normalized is this to you? Of course, Reddit is anything but a statistically good place to sample answers to a question like this.